Coach Little, what stuck out the most about Harli? What kind of player she was on the soccer field?
Yeah, on the soccer field, Harli is one of the hardest working, grittiest. Just, if you had to picture that kid that got jumped in mud puddles, she was the kid who would jump in mud puddles. She was the kind of kid when you put her on the soccer field and you ask her to go score goals or go do something and get it done. She would run through that brick wall for you and make sure that, in her best efforts, the team goals were being met.
Coach Webb, you had a girl that led the county in scoring, in basketball, but it's obviously about more than that. What about Harli stood out to you on the basketball court?
Yeah, I would just say it's her leadership and just the way she approaches the game and her teammates. She brings everybody up with her. And I think it's hard to have somebody who can perform so well on the court, by scoring, but also can then bring that intensity for their teammates as well. Because it takes a lot of energy to put the ball in the basket, and especially the way Harli does it. So then being able to then also transfer that energy into a positive way for her teammates, it's a big deal, and it really rubs off on her teammates, and they have a good role model.
I think it's her intensity level, and she's willing to do whatever it takes and whatever the team needs. And for us, she was really a lockdown defender, but she was able to score as well. And really, she just led our team with her intensity and able to get those loose balls, those draw controls, those little things that not everybody notices. And she just really was able to step up against the other team's best opponent.
Coach Webb, the intensity thing, I think that's something that all three of you have said, and I agree with it. But when did you first see it in a player like Harli that you mentioned a second ago? You can go to the basket and try to score, but it takes more than that. It takes a little bit of basketball IQ and things of that nature, and Harli has that too. She just also has that raw athleticism. Is that the one thing that it kind of becomes intensity when you put all those things together?
Yeah, I definitely think it does. And I think you could see it in Harli when she was a young kid, even in 7th and 8th grade, she just had it. It was very innate. It wasn't something she had to learn, which I think as a coach, that's the best thing you can have in a player is when it's natural, and because you can't teach it. So it just helped her bring along her game from the time she stepped on the court as a freshman to being a senior.
But no, I do think that Harli thrives on competitiveness. It's a word we haven't used with her, but there is no bigger competitor, whether she is on any one of these fields or, anything she does in her personal life. I think she's a competitor, and I think that differentiates her.
No, and Harli's willing to do whatever the team needs, and that's what the team needed this year, was not necessarily her to score 1 million goals, but her to shut down that other team's best player or contain them so that they didn't have that 6-7 goal game where it gave our attack the ball and we're able to put it in the net.
I'll let Coach Little finish this off. A lot of memories, I'm sure all three you coaches have them, but of Harli and Coach Little, you've been around her a long time. You get to coach her in basketball as well with Coach Webb, and of course on the soccer field. What are some of the things that stand out to you the most, if I just mention her name to you, and the memories you might have of being able to coach such a standout athlete like Harli?
The memories are, and I'd say this all the time, it's not a goal you scored, it's not something that you maybe did one time, but it's the consistency of bringing it every single day. She came to practice like it was a game, and she came to practice to make all of her teammates better. This was a special class. I joke about this, but this is my favorite class, and I've got a kid who graduated a couple years ago with a lot of kids that I really liked. But this class, she had to deal with friends in all her sports that were on her teams that didn't maybe always have the same level of intensity, competitiveness, drive that she did. And she managed that in a way that was so special to bring the team along. So I would say my biggest memory of her is just how she brought it every day.
Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.